Month. Did you know that?
National Dog. I'm going to babysit a couple dogs today.
There you go. I'm babysitting mine every day.
Yeah, you've got a big baby there.
I think he's going to end up killing me.
Don't say that.
Oh, he gets his leash all tangled up. I go outside to untangle him. He wraps it around my feet. And it's like,
Oh
okay.
no.
Yeah.
You're gonna take him to dog school.
Well, he just gets so excited about things. This is why they got rid of him at the service dog training, because he's got that ADD. But I just
He needs doggy CBD oil.
yeah. He needs something. But hey, folks, welcome to our call. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick. I've got Andrea with me on the call and webinar. I guess it's not a call; it's a webinar.
Right. It's alive.
It's a live webinar. We're streaming live on Facebook. So some of you might be here on the call with us. Some of you might be on Facebook watching. And some of you might be listening to a recording of this.
That's right. Coming at you every Tuesday at noon Eastern time. So
yeah. You know, Andrea, National
there
Dog Month. There's my dog. The mailman must be here. But you know, last week I missed you on the call. I know you were on the road, and I was sharing some important information on what we can do to improve immunity and support a better immune system, and you know, overall improve our health, because so many people today, they're getting all this information. I'm just kind of recapping last week. So many people, they get different information. Should I get vaccinated? Should I not get vaccinated? Will I be prevented from getting the disease if I get vaccinated? Will, you know, all these different things.
Right.
And so last week I covered a lot of stuff on that. But and then of course, because you weren't on the call with me, I'm gonna blame this on you. I didn't realize that my slides weren't showing up, because nobody was there to say, oh, I can't see your slides, Dr. Fisnick. So then I had to re-record the recording on Wednesday, so that
I saw that.
the slides. And I think the actual re-recording was better, because there was things that I wanted to cover on Tuesday that I didn't, and then I went back and I went and did the re-recording. Then I recorded those things. So yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
See, it all worked out.
It all worked out. So, you know, I was sitting here this morning. Actually, I got up with my dogs and I was sitting outside having a cup of coffee. Still having my 1 cup of coffee. It's a big cup. But I was sitting outside and I'm like, well, what should we talk about today? What should we talk about today? And I decided, well, let me look on the calendar and see what month it is, you know, because every month is designated something, right? And since it's back to school next month in September, all the kiddies go back to school next month. They have a couple different things going on, but the one that kind of caught my eye was it's National Eye Health Month.
Yeah. How about that?
And so I thought, well, let's talk about that.
Yeah. Sounds like a good topic.
Let's make the topic. We only get two eyes, right? Well, you can have transplants now.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, typically you only get 2. And so I thought, well, let's talk about that, and we'll talk about vision and you know, so here, let me grab a screen share here. That I want
about the windows to your soul.
Yeah, I want to talk about something here. Hang on. All right. So you and I talk about anti-aging all the time, right?
Yes, we do.
And so we talk about something called senescence. And so, you know, I remember in one of the talks we talked about vision, eye health, being a disease of senescence.
Right.
You know, so fight aging. Do you want to live a longer, healthy, good life? Simple practice can make such a difference, such as exercise and caloric restriction. But over the long haul, What really matters in progress in medicine, building a new class of therapy to repair and reverse the known root causes of aging. The sooner treatments arrive, the more lives will be saved, blah, 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 right? But they talk about cellular senescence, right? And it talks about it contributes to many disease-related diseases. And it's all related to this Hayflick limit, right? Cells can only divide so many times and then they can't divide anymore.
Right.
And
then so they go into their zombie state,
which is senescence, right?
Yeah, giving off bad toxins, and you want to get rid of them.
Yep. So here's what it says, exactly that, right? It says a senescent cell ceases replication and secretes a potent mix of signals that produce inflammation and disrupt nearby tissue structure and function. And in children and young age, senescent cells are removed really quickly and due to the immune system, but that falters with age. That's what it goes on to say. So this article is from, it's called fightaging.org / cellular senescence in diseases of the eye. So it goes on and it talks about that, and it talks about it's irreversible cell cycle arrest, and it's considered one of the most predisposing factors in development of aging. And so retinal microaneurysms, right? Apoptosis. It goes through all that stuff. So it's a good article, right? And so
Rennie,
we had.
I just want to tell Rennie to go ahead and put that in the bottom there. Like, what was that? Fight cellular something.org.
Yeah, fightaging.org.
Fightaging.org. We need that link. Right.
Right. So then I've switched. Can you see this screen, Andrea? Can you see what? Okay. So on this screen we talk about a product, right? And I bring up this because, in my opinion, I've looked at a lot of anti-senescent products, right? Products that deal with senolytics. And in my opinion, this is the most powerful one. It's a broad spectrum. It has 8 different powerful anti-senolytic compounds that help with getting rid of these senescent cells. So I thought, well, here's one of the diseases. Here's a possible answer, right? And so it goes through and Sizzle did a good job of describing senescence, right? So,
and FYI, if you guys go into a website, a Sizzle website that somebody shares with you, or your own, if you get to the products and you tap on the product, then you will see all this information.
Right. And if you're new to Sizzle, if you haven't joined yet, this is something that we definitely got to share with people, Andrea, is that if you don't click on your friend's website, like you can see on my screen there, it says you are on Kurt Fisnick's website, learn more. If you just go to sisel.net and you just, or you look up Stemolytic, you're going to go on to what they call an orphan site. And then if you buy the product, then you go to Sizzle's main website and you're buying the product directly from the company. You're not buying it from your friend. Your friend isn't getting compensated. And we don't get compensated a lot. It's 7%. It's 7%. So I always try and tell people, make sure that you go on the person's website. If you're listening to this recording, go on their website, because it's difficult to switch you back to going on my page, become a customer of mine if you signed up as a customer of corporates.
And you want that interconnection for information. So
that's right. So I mean, we're not just doing this to help people, we're doing it as a business too. So, but here it talks about the 8 ingredients, and I talk a lot about this quercetin, right? It's a natural flavonoid, and I talked about it last week because there's been a lot of studies on it in the last year. They say that of all the natural products that have been tested, there's 5 of them that they say are really, really, really good when fighting this COVID thing. And we're not going to get into a lot, but quercetin was considered to be, they said, the most powerful of everything they've tested. And it's in our Stemolytic product. So it's another reason. Plus, it gets rid of senescent cells, which cause vision problems. And then this has N-acetylcysteine in it. And Andrea, the vaccine that they're pushing on everybody has graphene oxide in it, and they show that N-acetylcysteine is the precursor to glutathione, and glutathione is the answer to getting this graphene oxide out of your body. So, you know, hey, but I just wanted to share that. I just wanted to share that with people. So then we talked about this one, and you brought this up this morning, so I'm going to let you talk about it. Oxidative stress. So this comes off of PubMed. This is the National Library of Medicine. It's not some quacky website. It's not some, you know, something that I just made up or Andrea made up. This goes back to August 2006. So, Andrea, I'll hand it over to you and let you talk a little bit about cataracts and oxidative stress.
Yeah, government website that reports all the research, right?
Yep.
So a friend of mine had cataract surgery about 3 years ago, and he needed a ride to the eye doctor. And I gave him a ride, and I'm sitting in the waiting room waiting, and I'm like, what causes cataracts anyway? I just Googled main reason for cataracts. Up pops oxidative stress. And I'm like, oh, wow. Because we have that great product, H2 Sticks, that creates hydrogen water, and it removes the first worst free radicals, which free radicals cause oxidative stress in your body. And so, like, this is a great way to protect your eyes, I think.
Yeah.
Drink hydrogen water every day instead of something else. You know, just drink one a day. Get your free radicals imploded.
Free radicals. That's right. Yeah. So here's the product. Again, you know, go to the website that your friend sends you to. Don't just go to sizzle.net, because, you know, again, you want to give credit where credit is due, and it's difficult. I mean, I'm just telling you, folks, it's you don't want to do that. But H2 Sticks, and they show that it is one of the best antioxidants on the planet. They show that it's actually, you know, hydrogen water, Andrea, they actually showed was more powerful than glutathione.
Yeah, and so many benefits other than what we're talking about here. But like, because oxidative stress affects your entire body, you know, just like toxins does, and creates these, just like senescent cells do, and creates an environment for deterioration. This is great for, like, I have a whole library of information about what hydrogen water will do. The cool part is all the research has been done on hydrogen water where there's about 1.5 parts per million in the water. This H2 Sticks will actually produce 13 to 18 parts per million. And I was recently in an alternative doctor's office where he put somebody on a hydrogen device, you know, had them breathe in hydrogen, which was going directly into their lungs. And I asked him, well, how does this compare to the H2 Sticks? And he says, this is just hydrogen going right into their lungs. The H2 Sticks is much better than this.
There you go. But Andrea, so let me, this comes from the magazine Pathophysiology, and it says, I'm just going to read this because I think it's important. A lot of people can't read it because they're watching this on their phone, and it's pretty small, so I'll just read it. It says, oxidative stress is a result of the imbalance of antioxidants and pro-oxidants. So there's things in your environment that you get exposed to every day that that causes your cells to age, and oxidation is like rust. I like my old cars, and you know, you see an old car and it gets oxidation, it starts to rust.
Yeah.
That's what rust is in your body, is oxidation, right? And then there's other things that cause this oxidation. So and I'll go on to read, since toxic free radicals are the result of normal metabolism, their destruction is imperative. Cataracts are the leading cause of blindness worldwide. I'll read that again. Cataracts are the leading cause of blindness worldwide. Opacity of the lens is the direct result of oxidative stress. Cataracts occur primarily due to age, but are also common in diabetes, and we're going to talk about that, where superoxide in the mitochondria is elevated as a result of hyperglycemia, too much sugar. And
Mm-hmm.
and so they go on and on and on talking about this. So they say that they're looking at genetic engineering to stop this overexpression of the oxidation. Folks, I mean, change your diet, add a few things. So
Right. Sounds a lot better.
right. So
Do the
here's an
natural
article.
way for genetic engineering. Do the natural way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't it make sense? So here's this comes from allaboutvision.com, allaboutvision.com, and it says diabetic retinopathy and diabetic macular edema. So I wanted to show this that diabetic retinopathy, a vision threatening damage to the retina of the eyes caused by diabetes. It's the leading cause of blindness among working age Americans. So worldwide, cataracts is the leading cause of blindness. But in the United States, in adults, working age Americans, diabetic retinopathy is the leading cause of blindness.
Right.
Diabetic retinopathy is caused from hyperglycemia, too much sugar. So the good news, this is what it says in the article. Diabetic retinopathy can often be prevented by early detection, proper management of your diabetes, and routine eye exams. So get your eyes checked, because they say that that's one of the main problems in the United States is that, people don't go to the eye doctor and get their eye tested, so they don't know. And you got to do that dilation thing where you got to have somebody drive you there. You can't just drive yourself and think you're going to drive home, because when your eyes are dilated, guess what, Andrea? You can't see.
Not very well. You have to have sunglasses for sure.
Yeah. So according to the International Diabetes Federation, the IDF, the United States has the highest rate of diabetes among the 38 developed nations. 30 million people.
Wow.
That's the people that have been diagnosed. About 90% of Americans with diabetes, which develops when the body fails to produce enough insulin, blah, 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 goes about the pancreas, and it eventually causes damage to eyes, kidneys, nerves, and heart, according to the American Diabetes Association. Between 12,000 and 24,000 new cases of blindness from diabetic retinopathy occur in the United States each year, according to the CDC, and could be prevented with early intervention. Hey, so I wanted to bring up an article here that talks about vitamin A. So this is from the American Optometric Association, right? I'm trying to find articles that you can't say, oh, this is just you trying to sell a product. I'm not doing that, Andrew. I'm trying to give you some science here. So this says vitamin A, beneficial for the eyes, just not preventing myopia. And so it says that, sorry, care proponents, while vitamin A is responsible for a myriad of ocular health benefits, especially protecting against childhood blindness, it does not appear to stem myopia progression in the youth. So they're basically saying that, hey, it's not going to prevent a lot of these diseases. You can't just eat carrots and think you're going to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. But in children, vitamin A deficiency is the leading cause of preventable blindness. So I thought it was a good article. So here it talks about nutrition and eye health. Okay, I'm just going to go through the vitamin A, right? Lutein and zeaxanthin, vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, essential fatty acids. Okay, so again, I'm going to read those again. Vitamin A, lutein, zeaxanthin, vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, and essential fatty acids. So let's go over here to this one, Vital Vision. This is our vision product, Andrea. Can you see that?
I can. Yep.
Okay. So it says free radical damage, same thing that we've been talking about. Excessive UV light, blue light, and we get a lot of blue light from our reading on our cell phones and things like that at night. Vital Vision is filled with botanicals and antioxidants known to protect and support eye health for keen vision and color pigmentation. Lutein, this is what we just talked about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go back to the article. Lutein, zeaxanthin, right? There's the same words, astaxanthins, right? They act as antioxidants, protect against free radical damage. So then it goes on to say vitamin A, C, E, and zinc, right?
How about that?
Look at that, right? So here's an article from the American Optometric Association telling you what vitamins you should take. And here's a product that's got all those vitamins in it.
And that's what we love about Sizzle. They formulate everything into one package for us.
Right? You don't have to go out and buy some vitamin A. You don't have to go out and buy some vitamin E. You don't have to buy some vitamin E, and C, and zinc, and zeaxanthins, and lutein. Andrea,
Get it all in one package.
in there. It's in there. I like that. Like you said,
I do too.
we packaged it up nice. But when we're talking about antioxidants, we got to talk about this one too. You know,
Yeah, Spectrumax.
Spectrumax. It's jam-packed with 74 trace minerals and 40 antioxidants. It's got fulvic acid, and you've heard me talk about fulvic acid a lot. But it gives you all those. It gives you a lot of those antioxidants that you're just not going to get anywhere else. I mean, look at that. The proprietary blend. Look at all the different things that are in there. It's giving you 40 different fruits and vegetables in that one thing. And then, you know, like Andrea talked about, hydrogen water. Hydrogen is considered, I remember Tom Senior and I, when he was coming out with this product, he and I were sitting in his kitchen. We were talking about antioxidants. We were talking about hydrogen. And I found this article and I said, hey, read this. And it said that hydrogen water was actually hydrogen. It didn't say hydrogen water, but hydrogen was actually more powerful than glutathione, vitamin C, any of your other common antioxidants.
Yeah, it's great stuff.
Yeah. So
to drink it every day.
What do you think of that?
That's good.
Yeah. You know, so I wanted to share those things without having to go through the work and making slides. So I think that works out pretty good doing it that way.
Yeah.
You can see what I'm looking at. You know, and I wanted to pull up articles that you know had the information on them, but I didn't want to just bring up our website and have people go, oh yeah, you're just trying to sell the product.
Well, no, you proved it, you know, and that's what people need to do on their own. Like if they hear something, they should go out and research it a little bit, and you've done the research for them and supplied them with the formulations they need. That's great.
That's right. And, you know, and like Liesl said on the call last night, Tom's daughter, she said, you know, we don't want everybody to become product experts. So Andrea and I try and go over this information with you every Tuesday. So that you don't have to go out and spend hours upon hours researching it. August is National Eye Health Month, and you know, like Andrea said, you get 2 of them. You know,
that's all you get.
You know, I mean, if you lose one, you got one. If you lose both, hey, you know, but we want to help try and keep you healthy. You know, when you get to be 110 years old, do you want to see?
Right.
Or do you want people to tell you where you are? Oh, hey, look at it's the trees are green. No, you don't want that. You want to be able to see that. So.
Yep. And just like any other condition or body situation, you know, if you give it that extra, you're going to be healthy a lot longer.
Yep. Hey, it's National Dog Month too. Did you know that?
I'm going to babysit 2 dogs today.
Yeah. I didn't know it was National Dog Month. Why would they have August being National Dog Month? But hey, you know,
dog days of summer.
The dog days of summer, the end of the summer. Hard to believe it's August, right?
Oh, I don't even want to think about it.
End of the summer. Where's the year going?
Want it to be June again.
Yeah. There's so many things to do. You know, the beginning of my summer was so jam-packed with things going on, and then so now the end of the summer, I'm trying to invent things to do, and having a lot of fun. Hopefully, all of you are having fun this summer, enjoying life, getting
Yes.
out. You know, because but I tell you what, I think we're going to get hit hard this winter.
Enjoy
Yeah,
every day.
yeah.
Tell the people you love them every day.
Yep. I was reading something this morning. A friend of mine
I
from
love you,
Montana.
Doc.
She posted on. I love you too, Andrea. She posted on Facebook these 12 different things, and one of them it said it was I think it was number 6. It said um, you know, here we are, and we're always looking and we're going, oh, it looks better over there, right? So then we go over there, and so now the there becomes the here, and now there's always another there, and you're going, oh, that looks better over there, and then we get over there, and that there now becomes the here, and then we have a new there, and so enjoy, like Andrea said, enjoy
Yes.
what you got. It's
Enjoy
you
that
know,
simple life. Yep.
yeah, there's a lot of things out here that we just need to do. We need to experience and have some fun, and don't get so worried about things, but you know do the things that are necessary to protect yourself as well.
Mm-hmm.
Andrea and I talk a lot about doing things to make your body so it's got a so you and this is the way we have to say it: support your natural health, support
Mm-hmm.
your immune system. We can't say build a stronger immune system. We're not allowed to say that. So we have to say support your immune system. Support
Right.
eye health. Um, you know, things like that. And so we're not trying to tell you that we're going to fight diseases. We can't do
Mm-hmm.
that. But there's so many things that we know that diet is so important in preventing diabetes, right? I mean, we can say that, right?
Yeah.
If you eat a diet that's high in sugar, chances are you're going to end up getting diabetes.
Yeah.
And
And other
and
things.
processed foods are
Mm-hmm.
loaded with sugars. If you're eating a lot of bread, that turns into sugar.
And chemicals.
Yeah, and chemicals too. Well, unless you're making your own. But if you're eating a lot of pasta, if you all that stuff turns into sugar. And so I recently, as I was reading all this stuff this morning, I want to talk about, my journey that I've had for the last 8 months on my weight loss.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as of last week, I'm down 52 pounds now, Andrea.
Great.
I've been fighting that, getting over that 50-pound threshold. I just been
Uh-huh.
saying, I'm close to 50 pounds of loss, close, and I've been that way for the last month. And last week I jumped on the scale and I broke that threshold.
Yay.
Right? I feel good about it. And so my goal is, by next year at this time, I mean, I want to be down. I'd really like to be down, another 40 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
I've decided
Fabulous.
that's where I want to be. Yeah. And so I'll be back to the weight I was when I graduated from chiropractic college. And somebody last week told me, oh, no, you'll be too skinny. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. But
Way to go. I'm proud of you.
thank you. Yeah, so we can talk about that stuff too, but because we've got some great products for that, but we won't go there because we only have limited time. So Andrea, thanks for being here with us this week, and folks, thanks for being here, listening. Comment, share, give us a thumbs up, give us the old smiley face or the and let people know that there's things they can do to improve their vision. There's things they can do to support good eye health.
Yep.
And
Happy Eye Health Month.
there's things you can give your dog to make them healthy too. So National Dog Month.
Have a great day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.